What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the video. Today is Monday, so this marks the first day of my kids' summer break. With summer comes a lot of challenges, especially being work from home with 5 kids. It just presents a lot of chaos into my normal routine and makes things a little bit more hectic and harder to get things done. So this year, what I wanted to do for the summer was to give my kids something to challenge them, something that they can work on throughout the day, throughout the summer. So what I did was kind of taking along the lines of like the 75 Hard Challenge, but reorienting it more towards kids. So what I did was come up with 6 different things that they have to do on a daily basis. Some of the items have a certain amount of time that they have to spend doing those things, and others are more just open-ended. Now, some of these things are things that we kind of have them do anyway, things that we like them to do before they get to have screen time in the afternoons and stuff like that. Other things that I added in are a little bit more challenging. I didn't want everything on the list to be extremely difficult for them because I want it to be achievable. Otherwise, they're just going to kind of give up and they won't put forth the effort. Learning to do difficult things is kind of like a skill. We have to build up to it over time. And I think the more often we present challenges to ourselves, the better we get at taking on challenges in difficult situations. So the list of the 6 items is number 1, to do their chore. All the chores are age appropriate for each kid, and so they have to do those daily. And as long as they keep up with them, it really is pretty simple chores to do. Number 2 is a big one, and this is probably the biggest challenge in the list of things, which is learning a new skill. So they have to spend a certain amount of time on this daily. I had them pick out a skill. They're going to stick with that same skill throughout the summer, and they're going to work on developing that skill. So like a couple of the kids picked learning piano. A couple of the kids wanted to work on progressing in art. One of them is learning guitar. And so they picked these skills themselves. I gave them an opportunity to kind of decide what their skill would be, and they will work on that for a certain amount of time every day throughout the summer. Number 3 is a daily exercise. Now this one is also one of the ones that actually presents a challenge for them because not all of them like to do workouts or exercise or anything physically demanding. So it will really push them to develop that. But also I want to take this time for me to be able to get more involved with them during the summer and be able to do activities and things. So I have a bunch of different stuff planned out throughout the summer, so it's not going to be like the same workout every day. It'll be different things involving running. I picked up a few things from Amazon like kettlebells and a battle rope, and so we'll do different workouts with those and some jump ropes. So I plan to mix it up a lot, give them a lot of variety of exercising and things, and hopefully they can kind of learn to enjoy doing those things and also start to see some progress in themselves as they get better at the running and different things. Number 4 is doing outdoor activity. This is another one that's timed. They have to spend a certain amount of time outside each day. It really doesn't matter what that activity is. It could be riding their bikes, playing basketball. It could be doing whatever, as long as they're outside, spending time, getting some fresh air, getting some sunshine, and just not sitting around the house all day. Number 5, this one is a easy one for them because most of them do it already and they really enjoy it, which is read a book. They don't have to read like an entire book or anything. They just have to read for a set amount of time, and hopefully some of them will start to pick up more challenging books as they go. But this really isn't an issue for most of my kids as they do this anyway. We kind of push this as something that they need to do to progress in their schoolwork, as well as just it's a good skill to be able to have. It's something that I've started picking up in the last couple of years, is reading more frequently, and I've honestly enjoyed a lot of it. What I tend to do is pick like an enjoyable book, like a fantasy book or something fun, and then I'll alternate between that and like something that I can try to get knowledge out of. And then number 6, which was super simple, was eat a fruit every day. And this was kind of more along the lines of I just want them to start thinking about healthy habits and getting in the mindset of picking some healthy food up throughout the day, throughout the week, instead of going for junk every time they want a snack. So this was just a small way that I thought of that would not put a lot of pressure on them for the dieting, but also have them start thinking of those healthier choices and getting in that mindset. I think overall my kids do a pretty decent job at eating a balanced diet, except for my oldest one, who's gotten extremely picky, which is a bit of a challenge in itself. But also, like, we don't stress dieting so much as we just try to, like, for instance, if one of them has cereal for breakfast and then they go to have like a package of ramen for lunch or something like that, we'll say, hey, if you want to have the ramen, that's fine, but throw in some meat or some kind of protein source with it, or maybe some veggies too. That way you're not just eating carbs for breakfast, carbs for lunch, and not getting a well-balanced diet. I think it's good to teach those things while also not stressing it so much, because I don't want them to be afraid of eating certain foods or think that, you know, they can't have that because it's bad food or something like that. But I also want to teach them a well-balanced diet. So those are the 6 things that I have presented to them. And at the end of the summer, we will kind of tally up their points and present some kind of prize at the end of the summer. There will probably be some little surprises in throughout the weeks as well. If they start doing, like, if they get some perfect weeks or something, maybe I'll take them out for a little treat and those kinds of things, just to make it more exciting and keep things interesting for them, so that they want to continue the challenge and get those rewards and just keep pushing themselves. But also I'm pretty excited to see how far along they get with the difficult challenges, with the exercising, with the learning new skills, and see how much they can pick up on those throughout the summer. The big idea for this challenge is to kind of push them in those couple of areas. Also, I plan on presenting myself with some challenges as well. I think too often we get used to the fact that it's super easy to get what we want when we want it, and we don't often think about how difficult it was to learn something new or put in that extra effort to learn a new skill or pick something up or do difficult things. This is kind of the theme of why we're doing this summer. For myself, I don't entirely know what all my challenge is going to consist of. Right now, what I have planned is to follow a diet, stick with my exercising, and also to be putting out weekly videos on YouTube. Which is going to be a big challenge for me to be able to get that consistency. I know that I do have a lot going on right now, but also I feel like I waste a lot of my time just sitting around procrastinating and doing things when I could be working on making new videos, writing out scripts, coming up with different ideas, and just keeping that consistency going. Once you take those longer breaks between videos to pick it back up again, there's also like little things that you forget how to do, like through the editing process, or maybe you forget about a setting in the camera that kind of messes up a video or something like that, and so then you have to reshoot. Getting that consistency and keeping up with things helps a lot, so you can get that repetition in, so you can continue to learn and progress and get better. And I feel like when I have those breaks in between the video, it's more of relearning things that I've already had to learn, and so I'm not making progress so much as I am trying to pick up the things that I've already had to learn before. So yeah, that's my big one for the summer. And I think my wife has a few challenges as well that she's going to present for herself. So we're all kind of working through different things over the summer. With that, that's all I have for this video. I wanted to start off my challenge by just getting back into creating videos again, but also I wanted to present this to everyone else as an idea for them to do over the summer and present themselves with challenges. So you can change the challenges, whatever you want, different goals that you might have that you want to work on over the summer. And I just thought it might be a fun idea to share with other people. So if you do end up doing this challenge or something similar, I'd love to hear about the different challenges that you're planning on taking on. Please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate any likes and subscribes or sharing the video, as it'll help me grow this channel. And with that, I will catch you in the next one.